Alright guys, this week on Mighty Ray's Garage, we're going to put some new shoes on the Emerald Mutter. I've got some, somewhere there they are, front. And down here in front of me, I have rear tires. Maybe I can get a dry, no, not doing that. Too early for that, no dry belt. But we will look into popping the heads off of the motor, because I suspect a blown head gasket to push excess oil out this valve cover. We'll look into that, and that should be a pretty good video for this week. So here we go. As I mentioned, these are going to go on the front. I'm going to have a different wheel. I'm not using those wheels, so those tires will stay on that. So it'll be a fresh wheel for these tires. I will be popping these tires off of those wheels and putting these tires on those wheels. So that's where I'm at. Like I mentioned earlier in the intro, a lot of excessive oil around this valve cover. Could be just a bad seal, I don't know. I do plan on going ahead and popping off the heads. Check those, how those are. Let's try that again. Check to see how those are doing. Valve in there for the intake is shiny. A little bit of oil around the manifold, intake manifold area. So we'll take a look into that. We'll clean this up. This oil is probably from down here, is from the oil filter. Just eyeballing under there. I don't really see any oil coming from the top of the engine. So I probably won't pop the flywheel off. And I've not seen any evidence from the bottom seal as well. So those two seals look good. This coil looks like an original one, but it's looking pretty janky. The spark plug wires are harder than a carp. Probably get a new coil for that, but we'll get to that later. But gotta clean this up. Alright guys, I got one of the tires mounted. It fought me like nobody's business. I could not get the bead to set on one spot. I had to massage on that thing and massage on that thing. And eventually I ended up doing one of my little tricks that my dad taught me. And that's to rub some grease around the bead. And that did it. Got it straightened up on there. Right now it's held the exact same 1/10 of a pound for the last hour. That's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and let it stay a little higher than running pressure, but way less than bead setting pressure. I'm letting it run at 15 pounds for now. I'm gonna let it run overnight, and then I'll probably drop it down to the 7. So, and then we'll go from there. Got one more to go. I really need to get my Harbor Freight tire tool anchored to the ground, because right now I'm just using it for the bead breaker when I could be using it to put the tires on. Anyway, next thing I'm doing, I'm going to run some 7/16 bolts from the back side to the front, and then I'll use lug nuts to install the tire. So give me just a second here, see if I can open this up. I'll be right back. All right, let me show you what I like to do with my hubs. Move you over here. I like to get these, the holes on these are 7/16 fine thread. So get them started from the back side. There we go. Now I got them all started on the back side. And what I'll do next is I'm going to put some thread locker on the threads there at the end, and I will zip them down. Yeah, I should have put... Got to take that set screw out. I can't get the socket down through there. Let me take it out real quick. I should be able to put it back in as soon as I'm done. All right. Now a little bit of thread locker for that last little bit. Made a mess. All right. All right. Those are all set. Put this one set screw back in. Make sure I don't come out. All right. Need a little more anti-seize on that, so give me just a second to grab some. All right, put it on the axle. Now I'm silver-handed. Later tonight, I'll be like the Tin Man. All right. Let's get you set up here. There's all the way back on. I'll set these better later. I'll probably eventually chop the end of this off and put a little groove in there for a snap ring. That's what I did on one of mine. I think it's what I did on the other 820. Worked out great. Once on Bowser. But in the meantime, this will hold it for now. All right. Now what I do, as you can see, I've got studs now, or bolts, but bolts in the configuration of studs. Bring the tire down. Makes the tires a lot easier to install. You move you around again. That should work. What I do now is I've got 7/16 lug nuts. Get them all started. And they're cone shaped, so that'll go well inside the lug nut holes, because the little bolts that normally go on these hubs are tapered at the bottom to center the wheel better on the hub. If I'm not mistaken, those should be 3/4 inch. Let me find my 3/4 inch socket here. I'll find out. Yep, 3/4 inch. Here we go. Pretty well centered now. I'm not really done with that yet. Tomorrow, after the anti-seize dries up, I'll probably, not anti-seize drying up. Tomorrow, after the thread locker dries up, I'll come back through and torque those down a little better. And that's pretty much my install for the 12-inch wheels on the tractor. And obviously, as you notice, I put the wrong tire on the wrong side. This is actually my right side tire. But we'll fix that later. Whoopsie. All right, the rear two tires are now installed with the lug nuts on both sides. You can see the bolts there. But there you go. Now for the fronts. We'll get to them tomorrow. Tires held pressure overnight just fine. They kept it down to the 1/10 of a pound. I've now reduced them to 7 pounds, which is the recommended setting for these tires. Might could go lower than that, but for now that's where we're going to sit. While we're waiting for rims for these tires, because I'm not going to use those rims, let's bust these heads off of this engine and see how the cylinder bores look. Hope that don't break. feelings. It rusted. All the bolts are the same size. They're all out. Right there. Blown out. I was right. In case you're wondering, I smacked that bolt. Sometimes tapping them will loosen them up. All right. Let's do a valve seal great. No wiggle in that piston whatsoever. If there is a blown spot, it goes straight through in there. Right through here. At this bolt. Let's do the other side. I'll move you to the other side. That good? Yeah, that's good. I have a feeling it's going to be right in here again, right around the exhaust. All the other bolts are coming out clean. No stuck bolts this time. This gasket's good. Or was good. It's not good now. Spin it back around to its top dead center here, right there. Let's see about these valves. They are good. Piston rings are good too. Excellent. Great news. All right. I'll just leave them right there for now. We'll get back to the tires. This is great news. Looks like the cylinder walls are good. The other one looks good too. No pitting, no scratches. Pretty polished though. But otherwise looks good. Alright guys, my wheels finally made its way to home here. And got the tires mounted on the wheels. They're looking good. They're already been aired up and dropped back down. But moving along. I've got my little spacers on these, because I did get a slightly narrower wheel than what those were. But that way it made them a little taller. But moving along. Got a gasket set for the engine. So that will be next. Thanks for watching.